did you guys see what Jaya Bachchan said on Barkha's show, which said that marriage is an outdated concept?
Marriage was an outdated concept for her even many years back.
That she doesn't want her granddaughter to get married because marriage is outdated. Do you guys really feel that, modern marriages now, it's just like convenience after a certain time and people are not wanting to get married? ऐसे होता है? हाँ, तुम्हारा तो अलग ही है.
अलग ही.
इसका क्या है?
Are you seeing this happening with young people, refusing to go out or making the effort of going out on dates, thinking of marriage as something which is automatic hoga hi.
Yours was a late marriage, no? It was a late marriage.
But I'm not talking about you guys only, but are you not seeing the trend?
But I do think that a lot of youngsters now sort of are moving away from that institution.
Yeah.
I do believe that. She's right to that extent that they're moving away from the institution.
And also parents telling
And
their
parents
kids
are like,
that,
"It's okay
that
not
kind
to."
of pressure,
Yeah, that it's
at
okay
least
not to
in
get married.
cities.
Even with girls, I mean, because as in India, you think women would be more under pressure to get married. They're okay with women not getting married, and I think it's fine.
No, yeah, look, like I have two
You have a
daughters.
daughter, yeah.
No, I have nothing against them. I would very much want to get them married off. But my point is that, listen,
Pehli baat to, they'll get mad at you for saying get them married off.
No, yeah, okay, but I'm not getting into the semantics. But the essential
As a father, you'd want them
I
married.
want my kids to have careers of their own.
Correct.
I think women, it is extremely important that women should be financially independent. They should be able to, hold their own. They should have their own standing in society as individuals. Yes, it is important that you get married, you have a proper family. It's very easy to shit on the institution of family.
Is it important, Sushant?
Listen, I'm telling you this.
Thank you.
No,
It
but
is
if-
very easy to shit on that institution, right, of marriage, of family. But, once you cross a certain age, you realize the value of a family.
I'm not disputing
So
that.
not
I'm
saying
asking
that.
you. I'm
But
asking
is
you
it
as a single
happening? Yeah.
Look, as a single woman, if there's a single woman,
फिर
suppose she doesn't. If a single woman doesn't want to get married, if a single if a single woman doesn't want to get married, but can continue the gene pool through science today, which many methods are available. Why doesn't matter? No, I'm asking.
Listen, you can do all of that.
No, that you can-
And then
but that is still not. See, whether we like it or not, the institution of marriage and the institution of a family is a centuries-old concept. Okay, it is like millennia old, right? Okay, the point I'm trying to make is that the newfangled notions we are talking about, these are very newfangled notions. You don't know what are the kind of societal impacts these things will have, and we are seeing that in some of the Western societies.
In newfangled, I would say would be like going on social media rather than going out for dates. That is the newfangled one. But 1 second, 1 minute.
नहीं 5% इंडिया की भी नहीं 1% इंडिया की बात कर रहे हैं.
No. Can I just complete what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that even in small town India now, what you are saying is something which is visible because when we hire people in Mofussil towns of India, when you're hiring people, there are girls who are in their late 20s and early 30s where there is no pressure from the family. Settle down. That term which we all grew up listening ki, when are you going to shadi karna hai, get married, settle down. That is not used even in small town India. So we are not talking about a minuscule anymore. We are talking about agar shadi hoti hai to hoti hai, nahi hoti to never mind.
Denying marriage.
1 second. So
Nobody's denying it. No one's denying it.
The pressure to get married in a certain age bracket, then if you're not married by 24, 25, you're too late. You remember when we guys were growing up?
Yeah, of course.
24-25 saal was supposed to be if you crossed 25, you were, your marriage prospects fell down.
You were talking 30 years ago.
Yeah, that's gone.
2 generations have gone since then.
That's gone. So today, like I'm telling you, I want my daughters to work. I want them to be successful in their own individual capacity. And then, yes, if they want to get married, get married.
Pehle to, as the joke goes, they say marriage is an institution. I'm not ready to go to an institution as yet. That's the whole joke. But not only according to me, we are talking of still compared to 1400 million people, a tiny fraction. हाँ देखो ये Australia.
Irritating chap.
देख लो, Australia should ban this.
Deva, constant this, तेरा brain rot होने वाला है because you cannot concentrate on conversation if you are not speaking.
I am googling what he's saying right now.
This
Shocking.
is narcissist.
I am googling what he's saying
Look,
right now.
When
Karma
you
was
say
him.
are people moving away from the institution of marriage, what is marriage? I'm not talking about philosophical sense. I'm saying partnership is crucial
Correct.
for
Why?
a good people,
For sanity.
for sanity, for living together,
Is
for
that partnership
sharing
man-woman
happiness.
only?
Man-woman. I mean,
What
I'm
about
not-
woman,
of
woman,
course.
man? No, I'm asking you.
Partnership.
Why can't
अच्छा उसको बोलने दो.
Depending upon your orientation.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, I
No,
mean,
but-
for a straight man, it is a natural inclination.
People are having partnership with their devices, not
वो तो
wanting.
फिर आप यार अलग ही होगा. मैं
मैं
बोल रहा
यही
हूँ
कह रही हूँ ना कि human
marriage is a set of legal laws. Thank you.
Set up legal laws.
You guys carry on with the conversation.
No, tell her.
इसकी partner आ गई.
हाँ, मेरी partner आ गई.
The modern
Look,
understanding
अरे
of marriage
सुन,
is what
just-
institution.
so basically, if you want to legalize, notarize your marriage, मेरी तो अभी भी नहीं हुई है. पहले तो 7 फेरे ले ली और हो गई मतलब.
मेरे पास भी certificate नहीं है.
Yeah,
नहीं है.
you don't even. Yeah, you
None
don't
of us
have
have-
certificate, none of us
मेरे
have
पास भी
certificate.
नहीं है.
You have three certificates, ना?
चार.
अच्छा,
चार allowed है.
चार certificates हैं
allowed
इसके
है.
पास.
तेरी तो special marriage.
Continue the
होगी ना.
stereotype. Make special marriage.
हाँ.
Oh, बेटा, don't be
Nice.
mean.
Very nice.
Oh, that special marriage is.
He is
act
the
में
only
तो
one who is
सब कुछ
legally
गया.
married.
If he decides, God forbid, to
If my
annul,
if-
you're finished.
If in any case,
Ah,
if in any
finished.
case,
क्यों?
Special
what's
marriage
the
act
law?
for women centric है
It's
पूरा.
complete. In any
But he
case,
can identify himself as a woman. Na?
then
like
the,
Abhijit
then
does.
the marriage doesn't work, na bro.
Then marriage नहीं बना
work.
फिर.
But,
But as-
legally, he is the only one who is married.
अच्छा.
Legally, I'm the only one.
Exactly.
मैं बता रहा हूँ,
Certificate तो इसी के साथ
certificate
है
to get
जिसके
special marriage. I'm the most BJP person on this panel.
what I was
तुम
saying
सारे liberal बैठे हो, तुम सारे कांग्रेस की जमात हो.
संस्कारी तो ये नहीं.
संस्कारी तो मैं निकला हूँ. मैं संघी हूँ.
Oh God, ये बन गया तुम्हारा.
ये तो हाँ मैं.
काटो ये promo.
But look, away from the laws, I believe one needs a companion. A straight man needs a straight woman. Inclination is that. That is, the evolution has destined it. Now, you want to go against it and not fructify it with, concretize it with laws. That be it. But when you talk of institution of marriage, for me, please include that as well. Need not be a legal certificate. And if that isn't the case, then yeah, I'm for it. Yeah, it's natural.
Because the reason I'm picking this up is that I'm noticing increasingly हम लोग भी ऐसे बन रहे हैं. Forget about the next generation. The idea of going out to a restaurant, socializing with people, it's becoming lesser and lesser, Like when you went to Lodi Garden, when you went out anywhere, you saw, groups of uncles, groups of aunties walking together, or even youngsters going out for walk. You just don't want to make the effort anymore.
Okay. So several things out.
If I invite people for dinner, for example, that's question, कौन
you
आने
never
वाला है?
invite me.
This guy, I have a rule कि अगर 3 बारी किसी ने decline किया, उसके बाद वो invite जाता नहीं है. I'm making this public. So people will ask, किसको बुला रहे हो? कौन आ रहा है?
No.
You don't want to meet with people who have
first,
different
when
thoughts.
it comes with socialization, the thing is you have so many options right now to watch TV, order food on Swiggy, Zomato, whatever. It has now become
Swiggy
a cost.
doesn't do it.
Sponsor this.
Zomato
All
also
Zomato,
doesn't sponsor.
yeah.
कोई नहीं sponsor करता.
कोई नहीं स्पॉन्सर करता है इसको.
घर का खाना.
स्पॉन्सर्ड बाय घर का खाना.
एक बार बोल दे यार.
हाँ, स्पॉन्सर्ड बाय घर का खाना. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
40 पकौड़े ना मिलते हैं शाम को.
ये रोटी बेल के हमको खिलाती है.
मैं खिलाती हूँ.
एक बार
आंटी
रोटी बेल के
खिलाती
स्मिता,
है.
एक बार खिला.
So,
हाँ मैं
मेरी बीवी को सिखा दो.
Now,
क्या
the
उसके
second
अंडरवेयर
thing is-
शेप रोटीज बनती हैं उसकी. आई ओनली से अरे आज एक्सेल बना, आज डबल एक्सेल बनी है. ये एक्सएस क्यों बना दिया?
अच्छा गोल नहीं बताती.
बन ही नहीं सकते यार, 20 साल हो गए.
She's not a Punjabi then. If you cannot below a goal roti, you're not a
100%
Punjabi.
Punjabi.
Roti
All
As they say,
the
roti.
shapes are XL, double XL, double.
Can I just point out the misogyny of him expecting his wife to
Wife
belo
to below the roti.
How to bel na?
No, of course मैं बेलता हूँ यार, and perfect round shape. Just moon
काट
like,
के.
just like your
काट
whole-
के
बिना
कटोरी काट के.
You know what the trick is? You need to revolve while
Yeah.
you rotate the
Like
thing.
dosa.
Like dosa. Which we will know.
As
he will
if
not
you
know.
guys would know how to make a proper dosa.
I know both.
We Punjabis know how to
Can
make better dosa.
you piso with that thing? Can you do that?
No.
Huh?
I use an electric grinder.
So you need to do that, okay? You
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to piece it like this, and you do
Yeah. My party used to do it. Appa, I can't do it.
So you push the rice batter into one gundi. What was that whole right? And you have the pestle. So you have the pestle and the stone and pestle. What is it called?
Yeah.
So the mortar and pestle. So you do that. Unlike the Punjabi one, in which you go this way.
Piecing
Chakki
Piecing and piecing, which Ajit Pawar was supposed to be Chakki
By the way,
piecing.
very sad to know that Dharmender Paji passed away.
Yeah,
that
I
was
know. We really miss him.
Can we get back to topic?
Sorry.
Yes.
huh.
Yeah, tell us. What is
Second, now,
Okay.
so
One
imagine
was that everybody's got convenience coming home.
between
Everything.
Netflix and Amazon at home, food coming
Food
home,
come,
the fact that airline tickets are now so cheap and so available, you can decide not right now, but just generally,
एक हफ्ते से डांट रहा है.
just generally, I'm saying.
No, but you don't have to dress up, na?
You don't
Ghar
have to
mein
dress
you
up.
Fig out.
When I was a kid, if you had to go on a plane, boss, it was a suit and tie thing, you know, going on a
वो
plane.
तो
Still
ये-
is.
he-
Not for
going
me,
to the
thank
washroom,
you.
he dresses like this.
अरे.
हाँ, ये तो सोता भी सूट में है. तो अब
We'll
क्या
have to
करना?
ask the missus.
In fact, he wears, I know for a fact, when I was talking to his wife, she was telling me he wears a bowler hat to go to bed.
You know, I have to interrupt you. I have to tell you this, that there's one RAW chief. And once I saw him in winter while passing, I saw him wearing a cap. You know, there was Santa wala cap nahi hota?
Santa.
Monkey, with one golu hanging. And I was like, you know, I must have been
He
like,
was in disguise. He was an
I was
operation.
15 or 16. I don't know how old I was. I was a teenager. But I saw him with that cap, and my entire thing when I thought कि RAW का चीफ खूंखार होता है, वो जाके लोगों को गोली मार देता है, वो ऐसे करता है. When I saw him with that cap, I was like, it shattered that image.
It was an operation. It was an ongoing operation. They had to kill reindeer.
Sorry. Okay, go ahead. Sorry for the interruption.
Just to add, when I was a kid in Chanakyapuri, my dad took me to his secretary's house, full secretary to government. He received us in his wife's nightie. so you can see why.
अभी Indian bureaucracy का हमने सत्यानाश कर दिया.
कर दिया.
So that impressed you, huh?
Last time पाजी को आर्मी ने कैंसिल कर दिया, इस बार IAS ने मेरे को कैंसिल कर दिया. ठीक है. Okay. But
What was
my
the color
God.
of the nightie?
it was pink.
Pink.
It was pink. It was pink. It had lace. It was pink. It was pink flowers with green green stems. White background.
Oh my God. This is hilarious. IAS Association will cancel this
Completely.
podcast.
This guy is persona non grata, not only in Bangladesh but in India also.
So the IS officer was roaming around
The
a bike's night.
fourth thing has become, we are now so used to just talking to each other, FaceTiming, video
Forget
calling
that.
and all of
WhatsApp
that.
only.
So
Text message only.
The excitement of seeing someone after a while is also gone. The novelty value is gone. Therefore, social interaction has reduced. Now, when you say the institution of marriage, I'm very sorry, but the so-called institution of marriage as we see it today is a very newfangled
Collapsing.
concept. No, it's a very newfangled concept. He says marriage has existed for 10,000 years. Okay, maybe about at least 6,000-7,000 years. It came about when the notion of sedentarism and property came about. Till then, kuch marriage tha nahi. ठीक है? Now, let's look at the way. चलो इन लोगों में कम से कम 7 बीबियां मैक्सिमम थी, 2 at one time plus concubines. हमारे में कोई लिमिट ही नहीं होता था. Till the Hindu Marriage Act came, there was no limit on the number of wives a Hindu could have. Okay. Christians and Jews.
Chinna Vidu
and all of that. Not Vidu. You should know Vidu.
I'm
It's
Kannadiga, no?
terrible,
So I
when
put a
people mispronounce my mother tongue. Just anyway.
Kannadigas add a oo for everything.
I
like
know.
oo.
I know.
We add,
No, you don't. You don't.
So we
Continue.
have Chikkamane,
Pray continue.
Chikkamane, Chikaramane, and with no reference to the Chikaramane.
Oh
we
yeah,
know.
our chicken money is a. Oh, he's Konkani.
No, so
From the
it's
back.
like actually means just the smaller ghar, but doesn't mean the second house or the second wife's house.
Jews again could have many wives.
Yeah, okay.
David had.
Acha,
King David
let's
had
get
1,000
back to
wives.
now.
So now you are looking at a very modern concept of marriage, which
finish
is
the biscuits, yeah.
why. Look at why marriage came about. It was because of sedentarism and property. When the notion of fixed property and sedentarism, where you essentially become digital nomads and fly around the world.
There are many people, Abhijit, who get married because they want to buy property together, or they've been cohabiting, and so now they want to buy, they have FDs and stuff like that, and insurance,
now look,
joint
it
insurance.
Marriage has now become a convenience.
Yeah,
it is
agree.
no longer
To some people it has.
It is.
To some people, but
Yeah.
I think that's a minority.
No, it's not.
And
it's
there
not
are
a
people.
minority,
There are people who are brainwashed into believing there is something terribly sacred about it and all of it.
Increasingly in middle class India also I'm noticing that everybody says that तुम्हारा concept of marriage and मेरा concept of marriage अलग है.
That, Smita, that could be that different people have different concepts of marriage, but what I think is common right now, and I think is happening in India or globally, is people are losing the basic friendship in marriage. I think that has become a terrible thing. Once you lose that ability to communicate and friendship in marriage, then the other things come in. You just want to slouch at home, order food from a app, watch TV. In my opinion, again, this is my opinion, watching Netflixing with your partner is the lowest form of entertainment. There's so much more things you can explore with your partner. So I just think people also lose. With the more instruments and gadgets and technology coming into our lives, the more we're getting disconnected from each other. I really feel that. How many times have we, I make an effort, not my wife, but with my mom, now that I at least take her out for once a week for lunch when I'm in Pune. Because I don't want to lose. I speak to her every day on WhatsApp, but I want to take her out. Because I think unless, same in marriage, you don't have that communication or that effort to put in with your partner, and you lose that element of friendship, I think it's terrible.
Yeah,
and again with Monica, I have a lot of fun. So again, maybe I'm lucky that I have a lot of fun with Monica.
उसके साथ एक और भी चीज़ है. देख, apart from all of that, and everything you said, I agree with. But I think and maybe this is just me, I think because I think this, I give it to my wife. The single most important thing is, call it compromise, call it accommodation. The problem with a lot of people in this generation is they want it my way or the highway. And if you're getting into, and this is any relationship, you call it a friendship, all of us out here, you have to accommodate each other. You have to understand, this guy is coming from somewhere. So I have to give him some space. Giving space in a relationship, giving not just space, but also, understanding the idiosyncrasies of the other person and adjusting to it.
That is a political party, basically.
So finding common ground.
सारे relationship ऐसे ही होते हैं यार. मतलब ये तो नहीं हो सकता ना that it will be only and there have been earlier there have been families where it's there, when they show in the old style family, there's this domineering father figure.
Or mother-in-law.
I can't dominate over my bloody kids, yeah, nowadays. They bullshit me all the time.
There's this
In any case, otherwise it's just very comfortable.
मैं phone को उठा के फेंक दूंगी.
I don't see it.
I was just fact checking
वो भी यही कर
what
रहा
I was about to say.
I don't see it.
That Portugal has 52% divorce rate.
Yes.
I don't.
Ukraine and
highest
Russia
in-
would be higher.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't see it that way. I don't live for the future. I live it.
I need
नहीं,
to-
I नहीं
need
बोलना.
to take a.
हाँ,
I'm
चलो.
yeah, sorry.
Come back.
Come back.
भाग मत जा.
If I don't topple off like a Bollywood kind of a.
I live it on a daily basis.
नहीं, I का मत बात
No,
कर. Just
I'm-
talk generally
So,
about.
no,
I नहीं है because
No,
everybody has.
the reason I'm saying I is I think sometimes a lot of us spend too much time thinking about worrying about the future. I want to grow old with this person. I want to spend my old age. Why can't you make right now memorable? So, okay, there may be things I may not like and my partner may not like, you and your husband may not like, but there could also be things that you like doing together. Why don't you try and make the effort to discover that? Why are we so easy to just break that up and not discover?
It's the same with friendships
let me
also.
Just like friendship.
Let me ask a provocative question.
Ask.
Don't you think the taboo on sex is no longer what it was?
Correct.
It isn't.
Absolutely.
So the
never
threshold for sex is so low now because of contraception or whatever.
Yeah.
The sort of crossing the limit, crossing the Rubicon that was happening with an extramarital thing
Yeah.
is no longer what it was.
Yeah, but
why
Hindu
limiting it to
society,
sex?
in Hindu society, in any case, this Victorian values
Yeah.
which have come in.
yeah,
now-
Right? This is
यही तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ. This is why this institution of marriage. I don't
which
buy.
is something which people, for example, in the Indian right wing, they also need to understand this. They are far more Victorian and in a sense far more
Conservative.
reactionary, जो the mullah type जो होते हैं in their outlook than what Hindu society
Actually
is
is.
traditionally.
Yeah.
In Hindu society, sex was always treated as a very natural
You know,
thing and never a taboo.
When
Right?
I was in
not just natural, it was celebrated.
Celebrated.
Yeah,
Celebrated.
exactly.
The Amarapali, the story of Amarapali and things like that is the courtesan was considered an extremely
no,
high.
even now,
this thing.
we don't get offended if our rulers have have non-formal
multiple
yeah
wives.
non-formal relationships.
Beep the country. So when Malaysia is being quoted, beep the country was being.
Has Anand disappeared for good?
No, he's come.
Somebody
He'll
save
come.
him.
Don't beep this. So when Malaysia is being.
கக்கூஸ் பண்ண போயிருக்கானா
He's
மூத்திரம்
coming.
பெஞ்சிட்டு
He's
வராங்க.
coming.
Ayo.
So when Malaysia is being there he comes.
அவன் கேட்டான் எனக்கு அவனுக்கு புரிஞ்சுதா
Of course he understood.
இல்ல அவனுக்கு
Yes,
ஒண்ணுமே
yes.
புரியாது. That I disagree. The last
புரியாது.
part I disagree. என்னையா சொன்னேனா
What did I
புரிஞ்சுதா
say? He's asking, what did I say? Did you understand?
Yeah,
Yes.
hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, I'll just tell you a quick thing. So when Malaysia was being quoted by both US and Russia in the 80s, Russia decided with its KGB to get their air hostesses to seduce their prime minister. And the prime minister was going into election. They video recorded it and then the ambassador went to meet the prime minister, said, you come in the Russian camp or else we will put these videos out. So the prime minister looks at the videos with him, all the white Russian women. He says, can I have a copy of this? I will only make this public. No, 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 no,
yeah.
It's actually true.
It's actually true.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा।
The issue is टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है।
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल दें?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब।
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप।
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI, it does not lie.